Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Ami Harishan, and in this video I will be talking about both the successes and failures of the Muslim effort in battling the COVID-19 virus. It was said that the global pandemic that started in 2019 has put to the test the much touted Islamic Brotherhood in coping with the many challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, before we talk about how this religious bond was put into action, let us first understand what it means by Islamic Brotherhood. It is mentioned in the Quran that the believers are like brothers to one another. So promote peace and reconciliation among them and fear Allah, that you may receive mercy. Surah Hujurat, verse 10. From this ayah, it can be understood that Allah promotes brotherhood between the believers through the act of kindness. Allah has created humans in a way that they need to establish good relationship with one another in order to live peacefully. If we do well to others, inshallah, it will return good to us. So how does this brotherhood help in battling the COVID-19 virus? Ever since the first MCO was announced, Malaysia has adopted the carefully crafted standard operating procedures called the SOPs, which have seen success in flattening the epidemic curve. This is the result of Malaysian citizens following the SOPs as they were made aware of its importance by the government. Everybody could be seen outside wearing their masks, practicing social distancing, and taking extra care of their hygiene. There were even cases reported of people reminding others to wear their masks as a preventive measure against the virus. This shows that the practice of giving advice, which is one of the prominent characteristics of the Islamic Brotherhood, exists within the Malaysian community. However, those who are reminded tend to react badly, which shows that some people have yet to be open to being advised. Other than that, Malaysia has begun its COVID-19 immunization program in February 2021, starting with frontliners as a priority group. As the country readies for the public rollout of the vaccination program, it is reassuring to note that there is high acceptance of the COVID-19 vaccines in Malaysia, as in a survey by the Ministry of Health, 85% of Malaysians are willing to get vaccinated. However, there were still some Muslims who were hesitant on receiving the virus, claiming that it might endanger their health and that the virus is an act of God. Although it might be true that the emergence of the virus was not in human control, the spread of the virus certainly is. Prophet Muhammad even sought medical treatment and encouraged his followers to seek medical treatment, saying God has not made a disease without appointing a remedy for it, with the exception of one disease, which is old age. Therefore, a lot of people have spoke up about the effectiveness of the vaccine in preventing the transmission of the virus and the severity of the symptoms caused by the virus, as shown in the picture on the right. Moving on, the pandemic also came with a few challenges that made it hard for people to realize the importance of the Islamic Brotherhood. Firstly, in the event of panic buying. When the MCO was first announced, a lot of people were buying large quantities of a particular product or commodity due to sudden fears of a forthcoming shortage or price rise. This led to a disruption in the local supply, which then created panic among the buyers. This action goes against the teaching of Islam, which is to be moderate and balanced in all aspects of life. It is a selfish act that goes against the principles of Islamic Brotherhood, which is to care for each other by ensuring that there is enough resources for everyone. Aside from that, there were also people who took advantage of the MCO by going out amidst the lockdown instead of following the order to quarantine and stay at home. This might cause an outbreak as it increases the probability of transmitting the virus as it is contagious. This goes against the principle of unity that is an important characteristic of the Islamic Brotherhood. As Muslims, we should collectively prevent the spread of the virus instead of looking at it as an individual responsibility. Even Prophet Muhammad advised on quarantine. If you hear an outbreak of plague in a land, do not enter it. If the plague outbreaks out in a place while you are in it, do not leave that place. In times like this, some people will inevitably lose their wealth or income, which may harm their economic stability. But just like one of the maxims derived from the hadith, a greater harm is eliminated by means of a lesser harm. It is better to consider everyone's well-being by staying at home rather than generating an income to prevent a greater harm that may cause people to lose their lives. In conclusion, the application of Islamic Brotherhood did help in combating the COVID-19 virus through the giving of advice and spreading of knowledge to ensure that the SOPs are being followed and that the immunization program will become a success. But there are times when the application of Islamic Brotherhood was needed, such as the principles of caring for one another and unity, but was disregarded in the event of panic buying and lockdowns. Therefore, it is clear that as Muslims, we must always show politeness to each other, contribute, and stand with each other, especially in battling the COVID-19 virus. Together, we can prevent the spread of the virus, inshallah.